Well, hello, and I am back out here in the greenhouse, down here on the east end of the greenhouse. No, it's west end of the greenhouse. Just kind of having a look at things out here, seeing how things are doing. These are my recovering phalaenopsis. I had noticed that these side branches and the tips were browning off. So I'm not sure whether or not it's getting too much light under this LED or not, or if it's just because it's getting adjusted to a new spot. These don't tend look like they're doing that. They're not underneath the LED. So this is what happens when the plant has matured its growth and then it's still putting up another growth, but water got in the newest growth. And so therefore it blasted and will be no more of a new growth. But at least that new growth. Hey, Mick. Yes, it was fabulous. It was a holiday away from family, if I shall say that gently. So it was quiet in the city, ate great food, did some orchid shopping, saw some movies. So yeah, I would say it was pretty good holiday. Yes, it's just starting. It's just starting. I was just saying that more or less kind of on the topic that I've been talking about all fall as far as letting my pseudobulbs harden off. And there's always sort of a twist when you have a new growth here that's hardening off. This is my uh, Rhincolalia, well, Brassavola aristocrat, which is Rhincolalia glauca and Digbyana. But this is the newest growth, and at the same time, it was putting up a growth here, which um, continued to get water, whereas I probably should have not watered it at all and just let it dry off. But I did continue it because this plant fooled me because it was putting up brand new growth, and I ended up blasting it. So I will know the next time. I should have known that this time. Should have known to set it apart. Whereas it's the exact opposite as this plant because this plant's pseudobulb was already hardened off and no sheath in there, but putting up a new growth. So I have to keep the moisture at the roots, which I do, and it's been fine so far. Um, this bud's still progressing here. This is still looking so nice and sweet. I didn't water not too long ago, so got the fans going to get everything dry. I fear that I have lost these Rodriguez's. This is the newest growth as it was, which is no more. Um, I just don't know. These were bare root, and it's just so difficult to get them acclimated when they were just kind of snatched from the wild bare root. Same with this one. This came with some new growths, which are over here, but I backed off on the watering, although these plants want to be moist at the roots at all times. So it's Again, it's a delicate process to try to figure out how much water, because you can see that that in there is looking kind of moist inside that new growth, whereas this one, although it is still floppy, doesn't look as though there was moisture in there, whereas that clearly looks like, or maybe that's a leaf. Yeah, that's moisture in there. So yeah, it's a delicate balance. In this plant, I still need to get the pot for it, something to hang this bare root. Hey Jess, how's your weekend? It is trial and error, it really is. But you know, after doing it for so long, 30 years of growing orchids, you would think there'd be less error and less trial. But it is what it is. And but what I was saying is, I've just set this. I've had this probably a week or two, and it's just been sitting in this mesh basket. It's sitting right here by two humidifiers, so it's getting nice humidity. Not really a lot of moisture, but it was in sheath at the top, and I think it's still developing. I don't know. We will see. You probably will. You probably will. You probably will. You got to admit, we are in a tough division, the toughest. So, anyway, my Cowboys totally were over. What? How shall I say? They were picked to go into the Super Bowl this year, and I fed into that foolish talk. Uh, so, anyway, good luck to you, and congratulations for the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate to say that, but you know I'm a good sport. Maybe next year. So yeah, growths are still progressing. Well, I don't have much hope for Dallas. I really don't. After their display on Thanksgiving, I just don't think they have it. They looked like they were cowering to the Patriots. I'm sorry. I was totally embarrassed for them. It was almost like they were starstruck. Give me a break. But so anyway, congratulations again. Yeah, I've been doing some cleaning, getting stuff off the floor, um, and hanging more of my Phalaenopsis up here. Yeah, football, huh? I really, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the pros. I kind of am mostly I focus on college basketball, to be honest. I used to run track at here, University of Illinois, so I have bad blood feelings between my program and the football program, which has never done much of anything, and we were always kicked off the track at spring ball. Those kind of things made me just bitter against football in general, and you know, just them being a revenue sport, I can understand that. But we're talking about the pros, and that's even I don't know. I just think most of the pros is rigged because it's all about money. There's just too much money. So, um, but anyway, not to get off on that. But yeah, I would love to have that conversation if you don't mind my radical viewpoints or my opinions. But yeah, I had just noticed this. I haven't had this that long. I did have a one about a year ago that got too cold. So this year I've really been, and this has happened. This happened before. This is some cold damage just now showing itself from before I had my heater. It takes weeks, sometimes months, for the signs of it to show up. And in fact, that might be what some of this is, because it got pretty cold back here when this heater was not on. I was really only using a floor heater that was blowing, and I had it on low because it was blowing off the setting off the fuses, and it was just not a good situation. So this is still going strong. Really wish my Raniferum would do something. I mean, I'm very envious of Todd's, although I'm still very thrilled to have the plant. And this is such a lovely thing, but I wish mine would rebloom as nicely as does. But I guess I have to realize the fact that he's in Florida and can grow year round outside or just, temperate tropical. So, and if Hameen is watching, this sort of will explain a little bit more about what I was talking about when made that comment in one of my videos back about not watering my dendrobiums until they get a certain height. Not watering them fully, just sort of giving them, kind of like you do a catasetum, giving them a little bit at a time. But once they get to be sort of this tall, then I really begin to water them a little bit more freely. That's what I was taught about Dendrobium phalaenopsis when I first began to grow orchids. And I get away from that principle. It's not as strict as catasetums, but it's kind of like they need uh, that sort of period to where they build up their vigor. That's just how it was explained to me. And then once they get to be certain size, then they are able to adequately uptake the water and won't set them back. And this is still going strong. I can find it. My Vespa. Um, what else is there happening? Not a whole lot, really. These are my new Bobos. This is a little bit too much light for them, I know, but it's been fairly gray all day today, and it's gonna rain tomorrow as well. So they'll be fine for there at that spot until I find another spot. And that is my Kurazaki, Cheryl Kurazaki, I believe. Stephanie? Cheryl, yeah, Cheryl. But I've shown these in my last few videos, so I'm sure you're getting tired of those. Yeah, you should. I was going to ask if anyone was going to get any of those or anything that I showed in that my. I am going to look into getting a Wi-Fi extender pronto. The weird thing about this is that it's spinning. Wi-Fi is just right through that window right there. So you would think I would be on full blast with the Wi-Fi. So yeah, this is coming along, progressing. That, uh, 12 hours. Yeah, 12 hours. And this is cold damage. It's still progressing. Started out like this, and now it's like this. So I'm probably gonna have to cut these tips and hope that that stops it. Because you can see how that's all code damage. Luckily, I did not lose the blooms. And here's another right here. That's my Herrera Rectrocala. It's got a bud there. I don't think that bud's gonna open. Looks like it's really close to blasting. Does to me. So yeah, this is doing pretty good. That spike on my, I believe that's Adorable Upwind. Yeah, that's doing okay. Looks like that's gonna be okay. And I had said I spoke so soon. I had said that I rescued this Phalaenopsis. Looks like I spoke too soon. I hope that it will still recover, but the leaves are continuing to brown now that I said something and pointed it out. So, yeah, it's not too much going on down here except there's my cesspit, which I've shown already enough, and just these bobos. Check on this arcopodium. Arcophyllum giganteum. And this is the newest growth. Looks like it should be, it's almost the same size as the previous growths, and it has bloomed previously. Not for me though. So, yeah, Phalaenopsis are putting up some spikes. So, who does Philly play today? Washington? Probably somebody weak like Washington. But I have some projects over here that I need to do. I really need to put this in semi-hydro, especially now is a good time because it's got a new growth starting right there. This is my Epirufum, cross, Rufum, which is very fragrant, type cross with Gold Digger. That needs to go in semi-hydro. It's like I put all of my Epilalia cattleys. Oh, and this is something that I've done. This is my disaster wall that I finally took down. So, okay, come on. But yeah, you can see that these plants are clearly beyond dead, I think. They are clearly beyond dead. So I'm probably going to take them off. Well, I will take them off, obviously, yeah. I will take them off the mounds, probably will clean the mounds off, reuse those mounds. And I'm going to hang this. Most likely, I'm going to hang it along back there. And then I will hang more of my mounts that are around here on that back there because it will still be out of the way to the back. It will still get enough light, and it won't. What I'm trying to stay away from is when I have plants that have other plants below them. When I miss them, then the water gets down onto the other plants' foliage. That's what's happened to the demise of some of my As you can see how the foliage has turned yellow. Some of it has, you know, the pseudobulbs have lost their foliage, and that is due to me misting and watering up here, and then that mist coming down onto this area. And these particular bulbophyllums do not like moisture on their leaves. They like to be watered from below. They don't like it on their leaves. So that's a tip. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this plant. This is completely trial and error. Thanks, Jess. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'm having a spritz right now. I'm pretending like I'm in Italy. Aperol spritz. But I'm gonna get off of here in a short while because there is football games starting. I just wanted to kind of come out here. I'll come back on live tomorrow. So yeah, but yeah, I've got those projects that I have to do. I have to do this one, and I have yet to figure out this epidendrum over here. That's down here. I need to get with just one more orchid and measure my plant to see if she can get me something to fit this, something hanging. That's what I really need. Really, really need. So, yeah. Not really sure what else is going on. I did show you some things that are coming on in my video today, so you have a pretty good idea of what's going to be blooming soon. I'm really looking forward to this, so I can smell that. That would be a first time bloomer for me. Although when I got the plant, it wasn't spiked, but the spike blasted and then it put up another spike. It's got some other growths that are forming. There's a growth over there. I'm pretty sure that's a new growth. And there's one down there. Down there. That looks like it could be either or right now. That's what with these plants, you never know how they're going to develop. They have such a complicated process of going from sheath to bud. It's like they put up a sheath, and then once that sheath opens, there's another sheath on the inside of that. So it's a very complicated process, very complicated, slow process. So it's the way that it is. I'm gonna dump some of the water out of that. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy with how things are. This is really the first winter that I have made more of an effort to give my plants some culture. I more or less have just been housing my orchids here in the wintertime. And the greenhouse this year is probably 10 degrees at least warmer than what it usually is. It's usually hovering around 55. So you can imagine when I pull these plants out here every spring, they're dying to get out of here and they're dying for warmth because they're pretty much on stall for that entire period. So it's nice to see them still growing, still looking perky. Well, they're growing still slowed down, but it's nice to see them not looking so brown, not looking so cold. Really is. It's nice to be treating them better. Although it they did manage to handle my rough treatment all those years, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare this spring or this summer during the growing season. What how much of a start that they have, being that their temperatures, and this is cold damage up here, completely cold damage. That's a shame. I hope that that comes back. That is my epidendrum diffusum. And I know it, yeah, I did have a new growth on it, but the new growth is gone. So I'm pretty much just leaving that there. This is cold damage as well. Look, it just came off in my hand. And just last week, this was completely green, and there were new growths coming up from this plant, and you can see it's just coming off in my hand. These are the new growths. And this is cold damage from weeks ago. See, it's just falling up. That's, you know. So, okay. Um, Hopefully things will turn around. This is my Dendrobium findleyanum, but next to this, which is resting, although getting misting, this is my Dendrobium gatton sunray. These are the growths that put that out this year, and these are last year's growths. No, this is last year's growths. So this is a deciduous dendrobium. You can see it's just starting to lose its leaves, and then it typically blooms sort of in clusters, a very nice yellow with some brown in there, really nice. This is considered an heirloom hybrid, sort of been around since the dawn of time. So, but it is a beast. It is big. It does get big. But yeah, it only blooms off of either the previous year's growth or 2 years previous growth. But it has yet to bloom for me, and doesn't look like it's going to bloom for me this year. So. But I am happy with the progress because that is clearly a lot bigger than this growth that it did the first year I had it and then I put out this growth. That's definitely better. So there's positive there. So, okay, folks, I am hating that this is just spinning on my end, but I hope it's okay. I hope this video turns out okay. Uh, but we will see, and I'm glad everybody is here. And again, thanks for supporting my channel and clicking on and watching me babble and show off my plants. But what I was kind of looking at here, well, I can see now that it's not. I had thought that that would be, but it's not. It looks like a new leaf. This is about the time that it should be showing uh, some sign of spike. It did not bloom for me last year, and it blooms every year without fail. And it's put up numerous new growths, so I'm expecting something. So, okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Enjoy your orchids. I'll talk to you soon. I'll be back tomorrow, most likely. And enjoy your orchids. Bye. Talk to you, Mick.